Charlie. We're always banging on about great makeovers on how to improve your home and your lifestyle.
Yeah, well, you're going to love this one because after watching, you're going to be able to build a deck, pave a courtyard and design a garden from scratch.
Sounds pretty good to me. This is it. This is where it's all going to be happening.
Yeah, it's a tiny, daggy 70... Hey, guys. Hey, guys.
Oh, nice, Alex.
Coming down.
Yeah.
This is it, your humble abode.
Yeah, as you can see, there's a bit of room for improvement.
How long have you guys had this place?
We've bought it for a year and we purchased it off my grandmother. We were unsuccessful at a few auctions and then this turned up, so it was a great find.
It's a beautiful story. And have you had to think about plans on what you want to do around here?
Yeah, we did have some plans. We've obviously done the inside first and kind of neglected the outside.
I can see that, yeah.
But we just want to be able to use the outside at the moment.
Great. And so have you had a bit of a think of what you'd like to do out here?
We'd love an entertaining space. At the moment, you know, we can't really entertain on a slope, so our lunch is kind of tipping when people come over, which isn't ideal.
Is there any restrictions on the place?
Yeah, so we've got a strata manager that looks after this complex. We've had to kind of get his approval before going ahead with a few things. But we've sent him all the plans and he's given us the green light, so.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, definitely. So, Bryce, tell me, what do you like on the tools, mate?
Not great. Look, I sit at a desk all day, so I'm keen to learn if you're willing to teach.
That's a done deal, mate. You teach me how to type, I'll teach you how to use the tools.
You type with just your thumbs, though, don't you?
No, my head. You know, like those birdies. What do you reckon, guys? Enough fun? We'll get started?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get into it. We'll take the heavy ones.
Yep. When it comes to moving plants, you don't really want to be doing it in the heat of summer, but sometimes your hand's just forced. So I recommend you do it early in the morning and make sure you give your plants a really good drink the day before. That keeps them hydrated. Then the hard work begins where you've just got to go around and dig as much of a root ball out as you possibly can. You're going to sort of dig a trench around the outside of the plant and then try and get underneath, keeping as many roots as possible. Once it's finally out the ground, you need to pot it up as quickly as you can and make sure you keep it really well hydrated.
Looks like this one's ready.
Yeah, mate.
Ooh, you wait. Oh. Mamma mia, that's beautiful. Look at that for a ball. So what we have here, this one's called an azalea, and what you want to do with these is you want to make sure that you set them up in the right position of your yard. To find out where that is, we'll call Charlie in. Charlie!
What are you doing?
I pulled out an azalea. Is that an azalea?
Yeah,
Oh, I told you it was.
just wondering how you managed to do it.
These things are painted on, mate.
Well done, Josh. Josh, well done on digging that azalea out.
The clear out is done. It's looking better already.
Does look good, doesn't it?
What's your plans, mate?
Look, it's not the biggest space in the world, is it? I mean, it feels a lot bigger now we've cleared it out, but...
Yeah.
So I want to create some zones so they've got some destinations to go to. If you can build me a deck here, maybe an archway between the two.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'll do some paving down there, some terracing in between. Just separate it, you know, for those special moments where I've missed you.
Oh, this is it. 7 months of separation, and this is what happens. We can do it now. That's all it takes to save any marriage. I do, Charlie. I do, and for that, I'll build you a deck.
I mean, absence does make the heart grow fonder.
Charlie just proposed to me before.
Oh, what did you say?
I said, yes. All right, Bryce, the way this works for the deck is we need to create our support. So you saw how hard it was to take that concrete step out. So we're utilising the rest of this concrete. The only reason we had to move that is we wanted to get our height down. So on this concrete, we're just using some post supports, and basically they're going to get dyno bolted down. So we've laid these out. We've got our dyno bolts here. We've put a washer in. That way it covers the hole more. But what you want to do, you just want to pull the thread up. That way this doesn't spread when you knock it in the hole. You're going to set it inside the hole, use your hammer, hit it down, do it up with the ratchet. If you can do that, mate, that means I can keep drilling the holes. Sounds good?
Sounds easy to me.
Awesome. If I can do it, anyone can do it. That's what I always say. This edge, we're going to plumb it up. Happy?
Yep.
No, you're not touching to the bottom. So you've got to make sure it's touching all the way. All right, Bryce. So for the perimeter ones, mate, we're going to be concreting these ones in. So I'll add the water, I'll put the concrete in and you mix it as I'm pouring. The trick here is you want to get some concrete under the post, otherwise the post is just supporting on dirt.
Okay.
So as I'm pouring, once you've mixed it up a bit, I'll just lift this post up to make sure we get some underneath.
Easy.
Beautiful. Nice. All right, that's it, Beck. Oh, I think we deserve a coffee or something. All right, let's go, Bryce.
Okay.
Now the stumps are in, we can start working on getting these bearers in. Beautiful. So the way a subfloor works, Bryce, is we've got our stumps, now we're adding our bearers, and the bearers connect to the stumps, and then we're going to sit our joists on top of that, and the joists are going to support the decking boards that then go on top.
Okay.
All right, so after these bearers, we can start on the joist, which means we're that bit closer to getting the boards on.
Excellent.
That is exciting. Oh, look out, sand's coming in.
Indeed, the frame is looking good.
Fantastic, isn't it?
It's nice.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And so this means we're getting ready to bring the pavers in.
Yep, I'll give you a
Once
slide
these
back.
decking boards go down,
Yes, well done. Yeah, keep going.
I reckon
What's
it's
next?
just... well, I don't know what comes next. I'm just excited to see how these decking boards look against these pavers.
Yeah, it's going to look good. When it comes to updating our fences, I'm just using paint. Now, I do really like a dark colour on a fence because it makes plants look good. But if I was to do that in this garden, combined with the red brick, it would just sap out too much light. And I can't change the red brick because of strata restrictions. So I'm using this colour. It's called Miller Mood. It's nice and light. It's going to reflect light around, which is going to make the space feel bigger. But it's also a nice backdrop for our plants.
Hello, how you doing? You trying to call me out? We used to be something that you ain't my woman. The hell is you talking about? Something or other.
The framing's complete and we're on to the exciting part, laying the decking boards. And for that, we're going for this beautiful black butt timber. To start, I've just measured in the width of a board and I've chalked a line. And that's what I'm going to work to first. Using this smart bit, I'll pre-drill my holes and it countersinks it at the same time. Then I'll screw that off. Once this line's done, I'll then just repeat the process for the rest of the deck. When you're working with these beautiful wide boards, you want to remember every fourth board to re-chalk a line. That way, you know you're staying nice and straight and parallel. The other thing is, unfortunately, you can't get black butt in these long lengths. So you are going to have joints, but the trick is you need to make sure that you stagger them, never keep them in a straight line. You'll also notice that we're overhanging our decking boards. That way, at the end, we'll chalk a line and do a nice straight saw cut.
To create a separate zone to the deck, I'm using a different surface down the bottom of the yard. And these are the pavers I'm going to be using. They're a relatively inexpensive concrete paver, which means they're going to be hard wearing, and the colour is perfect for our colour scheme. We've got our timber with our arch, we've got some trims and the fence colour, and you can see the combination just works really well. It's really tempting in a small area to try and get your hard stand as big as possible, but that actually makes it feel smaller and really uninviting. We've got two areas. We've got the flat deck and this flat bit of paving, but joining them up, we've got these two platforms that cross over. Now, the idea behind that is it slows you down as you walk through the space, which makes it feel bigger. We've also got some really ginormous garden beds here, which you'll be able to get loads of plants in.
Bryce, are you happy with the progress?
Yeah, it's looking great. It's really coming together now.
I'll take credit for that. If you said otherwise, you know, I would have said talk to Charlie. What are we doing now, Charlie? What's this all about? The arbor?
Just abused me and then advice. Yeah, we're having an arbour that's going to come up and into the house.
Yeah, and so the purpose of this arbour, I'm a bit confused.
There's no reason.
So
Just because. No.
extra work?
Extra work, yeah. Look, we're going to bring the architecture out into the garden so it feels kind of more integrated.
Yep.
And it's going to give you a nice spot to sit beneath, and then you can get some climbers to get some plants over, so you're adding vertical height.
Yeah, cool, awesome. So we're not actually battening this arbour out, it'll just be these
straight
posts
up.
coming up, and then the plants will do the work for us.
Exactly right.
I like that. Let's do it. A good tip when you're working with the structure that is going up in the air is to paint everything first, and that's exactly what we've done. I'm just using some 90 by 90 treated pine, and to hold these posts in place, I've got some stirrups that are on the concrete, and then we're using the frame of this step to give it some extra strength. And on the house, we've just got a whaling plate. Once it's all up, to strengthen it and keep it all together, we'll be adding some brackets. Yeah?
You could not get any plumber.
Love it! Oh, Charlie, you're cooking me a barbie.
Well, I've got a first world problem for you,
What's
actually. How do you cover an air conditioning unit?
Ah, well, we've come up with the solution. I've just made a simple ladder frame, painted it black.
Yep.
Cladded one side with this beautiful black butt decking. That's going to go on this side, and it's actually going to end up being a waterfall end because we're going to have a bench going across here, which will be held up by these galvanised brackets. But one thing you do have to know when it comes to these air conditioning outside units is you cannot cover it up. So we are keeping it open. The air's going to be blowing from here. If you cover it up, well,
Yeah.
it could blow up.
Yeah, so don't do that.
So definitely don't do that.
So we're going to have a servery effect, so when you come out with your meat and all the stuff you're going to barbecue, you can put it there, use the barbecue.
Yeah.
Good use of space.
And for such a small area, that's what it is, just utilising every bit of space you have.
Perfect.
Now, are you going to stay and cook me a barbie, or do you have anything else to do?
No, I'm going to go put some wires on a fence.
Yeah, sounds
And I'll
good.
come back for the barbecue.
We're calling this servery a cheats way of getting a polished concrete look. We've just used some FC sheet and we're finishing it off with this natural sealer. I think it's going to come up an absolute treat, and it's a lot easier to make.
Because I wanted to put a lounge down in this part of the garden, so we've got dining and lounge, I had to make this paving area quite large. The problem with that is it's given us these narrow garden beds, but I really want greenery and interest on them. And so I found this. This is a pack, it's $10. It consists of these stainless steel eyelets, which just go into holes, and then there's 5 meters of wire, which we run through, and we're going for a diamond pattern. One, because it looks nice, it's a totally different feel to the top garden, but it also shows off the fence color, so it's never gonna feel too overgrown.
Look at that, the perfect fit, Charlie.
I am liking it. What I really like is this detail you've put into the end.
So it's still nice and simple, all square cuts, but we're just staggering the end grains. Looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks good. It's a great little spot to come and sit now. It makes it more than just a step.
Yeah, yeah.
And just an arch kind of gives it purpose to this arbour.
It does.
Because, you know, we're not really going to get married.
No,
Sorry to break up with you now, but, you know, it's
that's a bit brutal, isn't it? He just comes out and says that now, after I've made your seat for you, I've made your arbour, and now you just tell me you're not going to marry me anymore. That's the quickest marriage I've ever had. Looks like I'm coming back to you, darling. And to hold it in place, we're just going to be using 4 bugles, going to be tied straight into the uprights. All right, darling, do you want to screw it off, or am I going to do it? Well, now we're divorced, we've got nothing. Unbelievable.
Now, you might remember I said I wanted some really large garden beds around our steps. And the eagle-eye viewer will notice there was concrete there, and you can't plant in concrete, so we removed it, and now I'm putting in some really good quality soil. We'll mix that through what was beneath the concrete, it'll give it a new lease of life, and the plants will thrive. As you know, it's pretty hot.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit hot. So we need something that can cope with that. I'm using this star jasmine, so it's a nice evergreen climber. It's also got a white flower, fragrant flower, which is a nice nod back to the rose that was once here. And you're literally just going to tie it onto the wires, just wind it round and round. You can tie it on if you're using small plants, but they're long enough really to hold themselves on there. Then all you need to do is just keep it to that shape. You can trim it with shears or secateurs, and pretty good.
Sounds amazing.
Do you want to have a go at one?
Okay.
Just let it go. You're gonna get there anyway. So baby, oh, just let it go.
A good tip for small spaces is to go big with your planting. And I've done it along the deck with these great water guns. Now, this is a variety called Luscious. It's a real designer plant. It's got lovely green leaves, it's got a white trunk and black stems, so it looks fantastic against our painted fence. I'm really happy with the planting that's going into our wide, deep garden beds. I've started it off with this Pittosporum. Now, this is called Ivory Sheen. You may think by putting a hedge in, it segregates the garden up, but actually it slows you down, you take the planting in, it makes the space feel bigger. On the lower levels, one of my favourites, this is Rhaphialepis Oriental Pearl. This has a natural sort of bun shape, so you're not going to have to clip it, and it's going to form a lovely cloud. We've got Westringia, which is a native. We'll keep that tightly clipped, and then to soften all of this, some nice grasses.
It's not hard for me to see why I feel so hard and easily. I know that you ain't good for me.
For the lower part of the garden, I'm adding a bit of colour using salvias. Now, I really like salvias. I've gone for a combination of this dark blue and this one, which is a Sally Fun bicolour. The thing I like about these two is they only get to about 30 centimetres, maybe 45 centimetres, so they're never going to overtake the star jasmine like, say, a leucanthera or a black and blue would. We're planting them all the way around the outside, and then I'm dotting a few through our larger garden beds just to tie the two together. Most of these plants are really quite drought tolerant once they're established, but it's a good idea to apply a layer of mulch. Now, I've just got Drought Master. It's got quite a bit of compost in it as well, which is going to help to feed them over time. About 75 millimetres, it's perfect depth.
Left, right,
I
centre?
don't know, you tell me.
Where are we looking?
Sick of complaining and all this complicated.
It's all about the styling, isn't it?
That it is. And this is looking complete.
It's looking good, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful, mate. And I'm feeling so much more level.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what we think, does it?
Well, yeah,
It's
that's
up to
very true.
Bryce and Alex. Should we get them?
Let's do it, mate.
Don't trip up.
Hey, come on out, guys.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
Backyard.
This looks amazing. Incredible.
You like
You've
it?
done so much
I
in
love
such
it.
a short time frame.
That's oh, well, you helped out, mate.
Yeah, well, that's
You helped
true.
out
The
too,
armour.
Alex. Yes, that's it.
It's amazing to think it's the same space, isn't it?
Yeah,
It just
sure.
feels so much bigger out here.
Yeah, before it was a slab of concrete, and now actually it feels like I've got two backyards.
Yeah,
I still want someone to pinch me.
it's real.
Okay, that's good.
So you've got a really nice big dining area out here. You've got a spot to sit in the middle, and then you've got more entertaining down there. It feels like a really big garden, and lots of planting as well.
It's unreal.
And isn't it amazing that the concrete space is obviously less that used to be here, and the gardens are bigger, but it just feels so much more open.
No more entertaining on a slope. Like, amazing.
You can't blame the wine anymore for falling.
Like, I think because the house is quite small,
Yeah.
so having our family and friends out the back, it's just going to be amazing.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, enjoy, guys.
We absolutely will. Yeah, thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Everyone has that spot around the house. It's just a little bit drab and, well, cluttered like this.
Yeah, and then you start bringing stuff in and dumping it, and you forget about it, and you end up with this.
Yeah, trip over at Poplands. But this courtyard will suffer this fate no longer, Charlie.
I do like your optimism.
Does that mean we've got to start with the declutter?
Yeah, well, I'm looking at that pile of bricks and wondering if you want to do that and I'll do the rest.
Oh, Charlie.
I'm thinking in this corner, a really nice raised bench for propagating all the succulents and things like that. It's perfect. We've got north here, so it's going to get lots of sunlight.
Yep.
Really good spot. Something about this high. I'm describing it to you in the hope that you're going to
No, I am listening. I'm taking it in. I'm trying to recover from all those payments.
I'm also thinking we're going to maybe do some paint, because the red brick's pretty horrible.
To break it up, yeah?
Yeah, lovely screen across here with some more hanging plants.
Yep.
And then another bench seat around here. But
Jeepers, that's a lot of work, Charlie. And the sun's just come out. I can feel it. It's steaming on my neck.
it's going to take me a while to clean
Okay.
this. And then something a bit lower, so sit down here and look
Yeah,
at all
and
this
look at all.
loveliness.
Beautiful. Sounds like a plan. So do I have time to finish the coffee, or you want me to start making straight
I need
away?
you to
or-
start making straight away. 'Cause I know.
Go to it. Get to it.
Well, he wanted to come play with me. Now, when you're pressure washing something, you need to do a couple of things. First, you need to work out where the low point is, because that's where all the water's going to go. And then you start in the high point and push it all in one direction. Now, you want to be quite methodical with this. If you try and rush it, it's never going to turn out as well as if you take your time, just work slowly through the job.
Well, I definitely think my coffee break's over, because Charlie has set me a mammoth task. So I want to keep this simple. To make this workbench or potting bench, I'm using 90 by 90 treated pine. They're going to be our legs, and then just some 90 by 45 for the main frame. But we want to have a lot of storage, so I'm not just going to have the top, I'll have a couple of shelves underneath as well. The first thing I'm going to do is start cutting everything up to size. A good tip when you're doing these checkouts is to put your legs in pairs. So I'll clamp these two together. That way we know we've got a nice line and both checkouts are the same. With the checkout's complete, we can now get on to assembling this frame. For that, I'm just going to pre-drill some holes and then use some bugle screws to attach it together. Now, I'm going to be putting on the top rail and the bottom rail, and then I'll go over everything with some black paint. And for our bench tops, we're going to be cladding it with this beautiful black butt decking board. And to secure it in place, I'm just using these stainless steel screws, and we'll end up with about a 10mm gap in between each board.
So come with me, and I will show you just how good loving can be. When all this teasing's through, I'm gonna be pleasing you if you want me to.
I'm absolutely loving this design. It is as solid as a rock, and it's going to be perfect for planning up on. Not only that, but you could use it as a workbench, or you can just have extra storage in your garage. But for us, Charlie's asked me to make an L-shaped bench. That means I need to make another 3 of these, so I better get cracking.
I am not going to let Adam do all the work, don't worry about that. I'm actually removing all of these dietes through here. I'm going to lift them up and move them elsewhere in the garden so they don't go to waste. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because I want to create a bit of shade for the bench seat that's going down here. Because it's north-facing, it's going to be quite hot. So I'm going to use a backhausia or a lemon-scented myrtle. That's just going to give us a bit of canopy to give us that much-needed shade. All right, next job. Ooh, citrusy. Citriodora. I really love these lemon-scented myrtles. They're a fantastic tree in their own right, but we're actually going to use them almost like a pleached hedge. So you'll have a little bit of stem, and then there's aerial foliage up here. Now, the fragrance on this leaf is absolutely incredible. And on top of that, you get these lovely flowers as well. In between these, I'm actually using a pennisetum. Now, this is a nice grass. It gets sort of a purpley tinge to the flower heads. I'm just going to intersperse those just to give it a bit more softness. So many houses have got red brick like this, and it really does date a property. And it can just be too expensive to paint the whole house. So if you've got a little courtyard like this, pick out a few walls and give those a lick of paint. It will completely transform the space. I've gone for a colour called Monument. It's going to give us a contemporary look and a really lovely backdrop to our furniture and our planting. Now, if you're good with a spray gun, you could spray this and it'd be done much quicker. But I am incredibly messy when it comes to spray guns. So I'm using a roller, and then I'm using a brush. I'm just going to fill in all of the grout lines. Oh, mate, you don't make things light, do you?
Nah, but it had to be solid. How good is it?
Looking good, looking good. So what, we're going to put these two in?
Yeah, and then get onto the...
Frame. I
Yes.
love it. Our drab makeover is certainly coming along nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's looking fantastic. It's amazing. A bit of a high pressure on the ground, some paint around the brickwork, but most of all, how good this bench looks.
It is looking nice.
Yeah.
I would like it if we had this one in as well, but we've got to build this screen first, right?
The screen is first. So the first thing we need to do is get these posts up against the brick wall. So I'm going to be doing a checkout in these bricks.
What are you going to use for that? Just like a whoosh.
Well, I was going to ask you to do that. To make this screen, we're just using some 90 by 90 treated pine posts. We'll have 3 of them going across, and then to tie them all together, we'll have another one going across the top, and then, Charlie, you're going to do something magic.
I'm going to put some hooks, screw into the top, and then we can have our hanging plants off those.
Yeah, so it'll be like a nice greenery wall.
Absolutely.
And then the beautiful bench can come through.
Then your second bench can come through.
All right, let's fix it in place.
I'll hold this, you screw. Thank you, chaps.
Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's time to put the posts. Sit it on top and get it in place, hi-ho.
It's a really nice song, Eds.
Thank you. That's teamwork if I've ever seen it.
Perfect teamwork.
All right.
Yeah, nice. Well, how good does this look?
No, that's fantastic. That's worked out really well.
Nice bit of greenery, softens the courtyard, but you get all these lovely trees in the backdrop as well.
Yes, and you know what I'm excited about?
What?
Now we get to bring in the rest of the workbench.
Propagating bench?
Whatever you said.
Yes. It's a bit easier with a trolley.
Oh, it's great when you've got a dolly on hand.
Ready?
Nice, eh?
Lovely. Do actually fit together nicely.
Oh, just like 2 bits of marine ply. Well done.
Well
done. Yeah, and match,
that?
mate. Book match. Book match.
Bookmarking,
Yeah.
that's what that's called. Now, the homeowners obviously love propagating plants, and succulents are one of the easiest things to do that with. But when you get a bit of an obsession, you start using plastic pots and you leave them alone and they start to look a little bit like this. So they need a bit of a refresh before they go back into our spanking new garden. Now, these plants have got really good root growth on them, but like pruning a plant's leaves, as you prune it, it tends to throw out more leaves. The same happens with roots. So just by snipping them off, we're going to promote more root growth. It's going to establish quicker.
If you wanna fall in love, you gotta throw the dust. But it's just a paper cut.
Now, I'm going to use all these pups in this nice ceramic pot that we've got here. It's already got an aeonium in there, but I'm actually going to cut this off with a sharp knife because they can get a little bit spindly and they're just not going to reshoot from here again. And I can reuse that as well. First thing is I've got to empty this pot out and put some fresh potting mix in it. Now, I can see why these succulents haven't done very well. There's no hole in the pot, which is certain death for one of them. So I need to put a hole in. Now, this is a ceramic pot, so I've got to use a tile bit. I'm using a very small one to start with as a pilot hole. Don't go big straight away, because you'll just crack the pot. Moment of truth here. I'm really happy with the way this has turned out. You know, if you bought this in the shops, you'd be looking at least 150 bucks. And the bonus is you can add your own personality to it.
I don't know what you expect from me, what you want me to be.
You couldn't have gotten a bigger one?
Oh, well, I wanted you to build me one, but you took long enough with those, so I figured I'd just go and buy one.
Fair call.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yep.
I'm starting to see a common theme here, Charlie.
What's that?
That you like big things.
Well, the thing with the big umbrella is you get big shade, which is good. It's what we both need right now.
Yeah, it's true.
You can see.
Yeah, beautiful.
Nice cover up.
So that means now
Yeah.
we can sit down
Yeah.
and chillax.
Then we've still got a table, a rug, all the pots, all the dressing to do.
So you've got someone to do that?
Yeah. I'm looking at him.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
It's really hot.
We are golden for all to see. We are golden. We are golden. Yes, we are. Keep it coming.
It's a bit lighter, isn't
A
it?
little bit lighter than that one. What would you know? You didn't help with that one.
No, but it looks like it's really heavy.
That was really heavy.
We are golden.
Not quite how I imagined it, but, you know, you get the picture. That's a forgotten about, drab old courtyard, transformed into not only something that's practical, but somewhere to relax as well.
Mate, it's absolutely gorgeous. I can't believe the difference. And I am loving these workbenches. I don't want to talk myself up.
You have done a good job there. I do like the screen as well, you know, it gives us a definite ending, but it's nice and open as well, so it doesn't feel claustrophobic.
Yeah, no, it's great.
You can see you eyeing up those sofas.
Was it
It
that
was
obvious?
really that obvious.
Yeah, okay.
You don't want to do some propagating?
No, I've got to get out this sun. It's killing me. Winter has well and truly arrived for large parts of the country.
So most of us close the windows, pull the blinds, rug up and turn the heater on and forget about the outdoors.
But you know, it doesn't have to be that way. You can turn your outdoor area into a space that's suitable to use all year round, especially during the colder months. Nigel, Alison and their daughter Emily have the perfect outdoor space for this. Plenty of potential and functional, but only for part of the year.
Tell you what, guys, this is a great size space. How long have you had it covered up like this for?
15 years, maybe, I think.
And you use it all year round?
Mainly in the summer and the warmer months. It gets a bit cool out here in the winter.
I do notice you got your music over there in the corner. Is that you, Emily? Is it Dad?
Dad's music, but I do listen to it.
It doesn't look very cosy though, not very comfy. So what can we do and what can't we do out here? Are there any no's to anything?
Not really.
As far as
no.
I'm concerned, you can do whatever you like.
Because what I can see here is cosy, luxurious, lots of layering.
The best thing about it is you've got great bones. It's a big space and we don't have to do a lot of construction. We can work within this perimeter and make it deluxe.
Sounds great to me.
To create a feeling of enclosure in this space, our plan is to create a plant bookshelf that'll double as a screen. Around the bottom, I'll throw in a garden bed. There'll also be a built-in barbecue to help to define the space. We'll add some heating, disguise some windows, and construct a bench that'll double as a servery.
They're not bad, are they?
They're pretty good, actually. They've, served me well for 45 years. Oh,
Not your legs,
sorry,
the pavers.
No, they're great. There's a couple that are mouldy over there, but they'll come up clean with this.
Yeah, cool.
I'll tell you what, guys, it's going to take forever with those. I brought in the big guns.
He's a show-off.
Hey, it's about productivity.
All the gear and no idea.
You're not meant to tell anyone, Jace.
He's just showing off. Come on, we can do it. We'll The plan is to make this whole area as cosy as possible. And this little corner, well, it's going to be a seating area, so I want to block off all of these drafts. I've had the boys batten out the wall, and now it's just on with this cement sheeting, which simply gets tacked in place and painted over the top. It's not drafty now.
I noticed when we were clearing out underneath here, we did not remove one plant. So my main job for this makeover is to create a wall through here and around to the next post to make this area nice and green. And by wall, I mean a screen where I can put pots on it. So, using some of this timber, which is 150 by 25 rough sawn treated pine, I'm going to create some shelves and verticals. It'll end up looking like a noughts and crosses board, so to speak, and this is relatively easy to work with. And the reason why I've gone for it is because, as a shelf, it's nice and wide to put a pot on. I'm going to start by staining it. Staining big, long runs is a lot easier than doing all those corners. I'm going to have 16 evenly spaced squares through here. Now, so I don't have to pick up a tape measure 1,000 times, I'm just going to use one of the risers as a spacer. So if I put that in there, screw that off, copy it over here, without picking up a tape measure, I know that they're all exactly the same distance apart.
Now, there's not a lot structurally we have to do in this space, so cosmetic changes are the go. So my first thought was, let's paint this entire section and just kind of recolour the bricks so we get a fresh new look. But when I looked at them really closely, I actually thought these are quite nice, and I think we can work with them instead of painting them out. So the whole idea is to pick out a colour that's in this mortar, and what we're going to paint instead is all of the timber work in here. So the entire pergola that's cream at the moment looks a little 90s. By colouring it this, which is a really nice grey cabin colour, it'll make it feel modern and fresh in here, and it means we can celebrate the bricks rather than hiding them.
For this winter room, we're going to need somewhere to cook the food, and that's my responsibility. I'm building a barbecue area. To make it, I'm trying to keep it simple. So it's a heap of modular frames that are just put together using butt joints. So they're all square cuts. You just push it up against the other piece of timber and you fix it off. You can't get much easier than that. All right, so all the frames are made. Now I'm ready to put it in place. Hopefully now this makes sense. So you can see with these two top frames on, this is the top of our bench, and down here is where our barbie will sit. And to tie these frames together, I'm just using these timber cleats that go on the side like that. Now obviously the barbie is going to be throwing off a fair bit of heat, so to stop our beautiful frame from getting burnt, I'm just putting in some 15mm compressed sheeting, which will keep the heat to this area. That's the bones of the barbie done. And trust me when I say, when its skin goes on, you're going to want one.
Just like inside the house, the type of dining table you choose really does help to define the style and almost the character, if you like, of the space. Now, I'm wanting something that's quite modern but classic at the same time, and I think this one fits the bill. It's got this really great chunky concrete top, equalled by this really amazing base. Now, because we have such a great big area to work with, I reckon we can really splurge. This is a 2-metre length table. I think we could go the 2.4. Have you seen these? They're aluminium panels. They come in different colours and have all of these great different patterns on them, and they're so easy to install. Now, you can actually put them as a pair across a wall, or you could do what I'm doing and hang them from the ceiling. So I'm using them in front of a couple of sliding doors, and I think they're going to add fantastic impact to our outdoor winter room. I'm shopping for a couple of ceiling fans, which I know sounds absurd because we're decorating an outdoor winter room, right? But these during the winter months can actually make you feel warmer. Just make sure you shop for the ones that are rated for alfresco use.
All right, we are ready to start cladding this barbecue. Now you'll see that I've painted the frame black on the sides, and that's because once I put these boards up, the gaps in between will look more like a shadow and you won't see this blonde timber. But I haven't painted it on top, and that's because I'm going to be using these deck spaces. They're fantastic because it gives you a consistent 4mm gap, and you'll see that it's also got a curve on it. So when you're outside and it rains, once they're on here, the rain comes down and it deflects it off the joist. And for the boards, I'm using this beautiful black butt timber. You can see how much character it's got. It's going to look great. Been doing some framing, mate.
Framing, this is new shelves.
Oh, what are they, Jace?
That's what people in Victoria call shelves.
Oh, shelves.
Yeah, I watch you on the show every week. You just super motivate me, so I thought I'd have a crack at this.
Fantastic. What are you putting on there? Pictures of
I
me?
haven't thought about that yet.
Yeah, portraits of me, Jace.
No, something that the people are going to like.
Oh, definitely don't do that then.
A vertical garden.
Beautiful.
If it fits, it was all my work. If it doesn't fit, I blame him.
Blame it on Joe. What do you think of the barbecue? Well, there's no barbie, actually. What do you think of the bench?
Thought you were going to feed us. Nice bench. Underneath the shelves, I'm going to put in another garden bed. Now, you might look at this and think, he's being lazy or he's lost his marbles because he's left those pavers there, but these pavers are on a slab, so if I took them out, any excess water would go under the pavers and undermine this path that I'm leaving, and they'd end up swimming away. So leaving the pavers there is actually a better thing to do. I'm going to line it, and I need to be careful about what I plant. You want things that are shallow-rooted. Looking good, mate. I'm done. I'm getting the plants.
Oh, hold up, hold up. I've got 2 paintbrushes, mate.
Yeah, well, you got 2 hands.
Yeah, no, I'm left-handed, so I thought you can do the right-handed stuff.
Oh, OK.
That's it. Now, we need to protect this beautiful hardwood timber. So I've got some Ultra Clear, and the beauty about that is it keeps this natural finish, but obviously it protects the timber. Do you like it? Yep.
Have you shaken this?
It's definitely not shaken. It's been stirred. We're ready to go.
So it's mixed?
It's mixed.
You got a drop sheet? I'm a messy painter.
Oh, come on, seriously. You won't drop this. It's Ultra Clear, mate.
True. Would this be $1,000?
Just for the materials?
Yeah.
Yeah, well under 1,000. I reckon here, I haven't added it up exactly, but I'd say around $600 worth of materials to get to this stage.
Plus the Barbie, obviously.
Yeah, then plus the Barbie on top. Tara's picked up these screens from Bunnings and she wants me to create a frame for it. So I've got some 140 by 45 treated pine here and it's been dressed, so it's nice and smooth. What I'm doing first with my router, I've got my slot bit in there to create a groove along the edge of the timber. Once that's done, I'm just making 45-degree cuts at each end to create a picture frame that will go around the screen. With the cuts done, it's then on to staining before gluing and screwing the frame together. But you only want 3 sides done at this point. All right, now before I complete this frame, you'll see that I've put the cement sheeting. That's what's going to create the privacy. And now I'm ready to slide the feature screen in. You'll see it just goes in our grooves. If I can line it up, there we go. In she goes. Once this is in place, I can then get the final piece on. I'm ready to hang it up. Our winter outdoor room is really taking shape now, but we need to add some heat. How good does this fireplace look? It is huge. Look at the size of it. It's definitely going to be the hero of this outdoor room. Now, I do need to point out that these are for indoor use, but in our situation, we're very lucky that we've got this enclosed area where we can set it up. And to set it up, you do need the professionals to do that for you, but I'll tell you what, I can't wait till they're finished because I want to see this thing on fire.
Alison has a collection of these great sewing machine bases, so I thought I'd incorporate at least one into the design. Now, if you are preparing metal like this and you want to get it up to scratch, the first thing you need to know is to grab yourself a wire brush and give it a good scrub down. What this does is it takes care of any loose and flaky paint, and it takes off some of this surface rust. The next thing you need is a good quality primer. This is a steel primer. Make sure you wear your mask. Now, when that's dry, it'll be all ready to go on with your top coat colour. In this case, I've just gone for satin black. Oh, it's heavy. Sturdy. Base.
It's good timing.
Top, look at that.
What do you think of my black butt tabletop?
It's so gorgeous. Look at that timber.
It's nice, isn't it? So I built this exactly the same way as a barbecue, and it ties everything together,
I
eh?
love that. It's a bit of character and it's practical and beautiful too.
Before I add the plants, I'm putting in mulch mat. That'll keep the soil in place, but allow the water to drain through. So the potting mix is in. I haven't put in too much because I'm putting in around 50 plants, so all the little root balls are going to add up to a fair bit of size as well. So I'm not over-soiling. I'm using Pogneranthrum, but you can just call it baby panda when you're looking for it down at Bunnings. They do like a drink. They'll always look lush and green, and I just want to end up with one great big massive plant. So we're spacing them out first to make sure that I get them even before we start planting the first one.
I'm such a fan of using mirrors outside because just like inside the house, they create a focal point and they can also help to make the space feel larger and bounce the light around. Now, you can pick them up off the shelf at Bunnings like this, about 30 bucks. They're so affordable, but like this, used outside, they're not very strong. So I've had the boys knock me up a frame. Now, to attach this, I need some silicone, and then the mirror literally sits in on top and just press it down firmly. Ooh, done. To neaten things off and also help to hold it in, I'm using some timber moulding. And you just got to be really careful here with your hammer. Just make sure you slide it against the glass. That way you're not going to shatter things.
When that Barbie's in place and everyone's out here entertaining, I reckon one of the real nice things would be just to come and grab a little bit of mint for your mojito, some lettuce for your burger. You've got all your herbs and spices just at fingertips reach. Now, because they're in small pots, they're going to need regular watering, but you're not getting real harsh direct sunlight here, and that extra water can come down and water the plant that we've got below it.
No matter what the outdoor space you have, I reckon you can always make more of it just with clever lighting. Now, these little guys, they're cafe lights, so popular right now, you just plug them in. And what's so good about them is they're pretty cheap, $69 for 10. And they've got these little connectors they simply plug in and screw on, so you can make them as long as you like. But just for simple ambience above the dining table, what we've done here is had an electrician just install some beautiful pendants.
She's a flash-looking Barbie. Now, may I ask, I'm used to the gas connection, but what's with the electricity?
This one has lights on it, mate. So you open it up, you can see what you're cooking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And also, these knobs light up.
I don't mind this plain cement sheeting. It looks pretty good painted, but I think we can do better just with using these timber battens. Now, what these do is just kind of give a little bit of texture and profile to the wall, make it look a bit more like a log cabin, don't you think? Very cosy. To further cozy up this space, we're installing a blind, just to enclose it a little bit more.
And hanging our screens over the glass doors, which adds a nice focal point in the room.
A rug outside? Yes, you can. These days, you can buy these really clever indoor-outdoor rugs. This one's made from polypropylene. It's completely durable and totally washable.
Tara has put a rug down. That can only mean one thing. Time to add the finishing touches to this outdoor room.
Table set, I reckon we're done. And doesn't it look inviting? So much warmer and way more usable. The family will be able to relax out here all year round now. So we better get them in to take a look.
Oh, wow. Come on. Oh, wow.
First impressions?
It's too good to use. I don't know where to look. It just looks unbelievable.
And we know you love to entertain, so Alison, where you had the servery, it was working, wasn't it, Ad? So we just decided to keep going with that and just get you a nice big table. So it's just like one step up from what you had before. We've
A bit
just
more than one step.
Can you feel how warm it is in here? Because we've got this fire crackling in the corner. We've got this beautiful blind that stops the breeze. So you've got this whole cosy corner with just gorgeous cushions. So it's a whole other space that you can live in, basically. It's an outdoor lounge room and an outdoor dining space.
Hey!
What is going on here?
See, I'm such an attentive husband. I went looking through your book and it said bubbles on the deck. So here I am, my dear.
Why are you going through my notebook? And if you'd read more than the heading, you would have realised that actually the bubbles are referring to the spa bath just there.
Of course they are.
We're going to give this area a makeover for summer.
Right, so what have you got planned?
Lots of plans, of course. We're going to wash everything down first and then use paint on the spa bath and the deck here. I thought a screen in front of that shed, and then I thought lots of pots and plants from you. You can do that, can't you?
Yeah, so lots of achievable jobs to make your backyard stand out.
Exactly.
Hey, now get your hands dirty and work them to the bone. Move things and kick up some dust. The only way to feel like you're getting anywhere is to get up every morning and get down to that primer and rust. Get down to that primer and rust.
When you're painting and staining as many surfaces as we are here, it's super tempting to take a shortcut, save yourself half an hour and get stuck into it. But the time spent on the prep is going to repay you in the future. It could give you an extra year, maybe 2 years before you need to do it all again. So I'm using some deck clean on the deck. I'm going to scrub this on, leave it for 20 minutes, and then we're going to give everything a good pressure wash.
While Charlie preps for painting, I'm breathing new life into the old table that was on the deck. It's in pretty good nick, it's pretty solid, but it needs a cosmetic makeover. So I've just sanded it. I'm now going to dust it off, and then I'm going to use some metho because the last stain was oil-based, so it's left a bit of a residue. And that will mean that it's ready for the restain.
Tap over all the lines, burn all the bridges we leave behind. Make a clean slate for a brand new life of hide and seek. I'm just a ghost that you think you saw, dragging my chains through all your halls. Ain't no one there for the curtain call. Come take a peek. So line 'em up and throw 'em back. Reality just makes me mad. Grab a hand, go round and round. We all fall down. So line 'em up and throw 'em back.
To ensure an even finish, you want to do nice, big, long brush strokes along each length of timber. And of course, you want to seal those edges so that no moisture gets into the timber. Not bad for under an hour's work. This table looks as good as new. Now I just need to see what Charlie's doing.
To screen the shed, as the wife desires, I am going to be building a timber screen. I'm going to be using this hardwood that will go horizontally. But first I need to build the frame. I've got 2 posts that are H4, and then I've got a top and a bottom rail, and I'll be putting 2 studs across here that I can attach it all to. To finish off our frame, I'm just putting a stirrup in the centre, so when we put weight on it, it doesn't sag too much. Now that's going to sit on the floor. I find that when you're building a frame, a small one like this, it's much easier to do it on the ground because you can keep it square rather than putting the posts in the ground first. It's pretty simple, just to lift it up and get it in the hole.
And you can hate for whatever you say. I'm not a fighter. And you can hate for whatever.
There you have it.
Well, that looks great, but we need to paint the shed and also paint this first before you put it in.
What colour do you want it?
It's going to be a lovely black, because that way, when the timber slats go on here, the shed will just disappear.
Perfect.
Yeah, so if you can get started on that, I'm going to get onto the painting up here, get the team involved, make short work of it. It is all hands on deck up here to make this colour scheme happen. On the spa surround, I'm doing black, which is the same as the shed. It'll make it seem much more modern. Then on the brickwork here and also up the back and on the fence, I'm using a colour called woodland grey, which will make the space seem much larger. And then on this deck, I'm using a warm neutral, which will brighten and lift the whole area.
Wanna make sure that I'm clear. Our memories won't disappear out of my mind, but I'm surprised.
If you're looking to update your outdoor entertaining area, don't think of it as one big job, because that can be quite daunting. Break it up into smaller projects that you can do over various weekends.
Charlie and I have been doing just that to make this backyard stand out from the crowd. We've already given everything a fresh coat of paint, but we've still got lots of tricks up our sleeves.
Yep, we do, just like this screen. So all I need to do now is concrete the posts in, let them go off, and then we can start applying the timber finish. Whenever you're building a screen like this, it's really important to get the first board up and set properly, because it sets the level for all the others. Now you'll notice I've got a little piece of screening up here as well, so I can run a string line down so we can butt all the boards in to get a nice crisp edge. I'm using some offcuts of timber for our spacers, and we're using a combination of 42mm and 90mm decking boards. Now you can put this on however you like, we're just going for a random effect. Because our screening doesn't quite make the length of our screen, we've had to cut it, but rather than having two joins in a row, it's a good idea to stagger your joins because it gives you a professional finish. And that is how you build a screen. Now I'm going to leave Greg to just put another coat of stain on this one. I'm going to go and see what the wife's doing.
Hey, Charlie.
You're not my wife?
No, she's gone home sick, but she's, left you that.
Oh, OK. Strange. Charlie, sorry, I started to feel quite unwell, so I've headed home to rest. Scotty will help you with a couple of projects, and Erin is going to bring my styling plan to life. Can you get milk and bread on the way home? What on earth are we doing?
Well, she told me to cut up some timbers. These are leftovers.
Right.
And apparently you're going to lay them out in this wonderful pattern.
Yep.
And then we attach this to the wall and you're going to hang towels off them, apparently.
Think I'm falling for you now, baby, yeah.
Pop the spacers in. Somewhere about there.
OK.
Yeah, somewhere about there. OK. There you go. You don't smell as nice as Julia.
No, you don't look like her either. What next, my unfemale smelling friend?
We just turn it over.
OK.
And Juliet has purchased these door stops, which we're going to attach. And apparently the towel just hangs
on that.
Yeah.
That's quite clever, isn't it?
Then we dive back into love, 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 love. Then we dive back into love, 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 love. Then we dive back into
Right. Knobs have been twiddled. We are ready to go. I'm going to leave you to mount all of this, and I'm going to go play with some plants. Because we don't have any soil around our entertaining deck, I'm introducing all the planting in containers. And I thought having some hanging baskets would be a really nice feature. But because I want a layered effect, I was thinking we could do it in a tier like this. But to achieve that, I need to alter these slightly. I need to drill a hole in here and just trim up this hook. Because we don't have any direct sunlight underneath our undercover area, ferns are a great choice because they love the filtered light. And the interest comes from the different forms of foliage. Here we've got a Boston fern, we've got some maidenhair fern, and the rather aptly named Harefoot's fern, which gets these lovely little hare's feet that poke over the side to add even more interest. Jimmy, if you can give me a hand, put one up here, then I'll just take the weight of it if you can clip it through those holes.
Yep.
That'll work.
I think you got to take the weight of the other one.
What, the bottom one?
Yeah.
OK, so this is how you do it. I take the weight of the bottom one, Jimmy puts it through the holes.
There we go.
Yeah, that works much better. For the rest of the garden, in the pots, we're going for bamboo. It surrounds the spa area and this whole entertaining space, giving us great vertical height, but without taking up too much room. Now, Erin, I can see my wife has got you busy doing lighting. What on earth is she making you do as well as this?
I've just hung a chandelier,
OK.
which will go in the dining room.
Right.
And then over there, we'll have the seating area.
OK.
And then the third zone will be the barbecue area.
Great, so then I can bring in some pots after?
Absolutely, sounds great.
Let's do it. I'll finish up here. The only way to work out if a spa garden makeover is a success is to, of course, get in the spa. But from down here, I reckon it looks pretty good.
If all we have is tonight, we're gonna celebrate out in the moon.
Everything's looking reinvigorated and refreshed, ready for summer, and I'm sure there's some jobs you can do at your place. Dear God, man, how long have you been in here for?
Juliet asked me to check it out with you.
Weird.
Hello, fellas.
Welcome aboard, Jimmy.
Thank you.
I think I need to get out.
If all we have is tonight.
Wow, look at this space. It really is a blank canvas. Tell me about the theme. What would you love to happen in here?
We'd love something with a bit of a coastal or a Hamptons kind of vibe to it. We lived by the beach before the boys were born, and we'd love to bring a little bit of that into our new home.
Well, the beauty about that is you don't need to live by the ocean to get that look. And I have some pretty cool ideas for this area, and I may know someone who can help us out with pots and plants. So I'll let you look after these little ones while I'm working out what I'm doing here.
Thank you. I'll leave you to it.
See ya. Finally, you're here.
Yeah, what a great space this is.
How great is this?
Yeah.
So we are turning it into a coastal Hamptons vibe. Do you reckon you could help me out with some potted plants?
Absolutely. This really is a perfect space for a potted garden. There's also some nice vertical space we could make the use of. So maybe get some hangers in there, something like that. And I've got the perfect palette of plants for you to create the coastal theme. So yeah, we can really transform this.
I love all those ideas. But first, I need your help bringing in some furniture.
Well, since you did the cleaning out, I can help.
Let's go.
Wow, this furniture's actually transformed the space already.
I know, how great. And it really does give that coastal feel.
It does. And check this out. I can't believe this is aluminium. So that would make it rust resistant, right?
Yeah, it has that timber look, and plus it's water resistant, just like the rug is water resistant, and also UV.
Well, you need that for an outdoor rug, don't you? And I'm loving the shape of the legs.
That's a real coastal Hampton style.
And even the chairs, the wicker look, but they're not actually wicker, are they? They're like waterproof.
And it gives you that resort feel, that plush look.
And that area over there, I'm going to put some cute little potted combos there.
Yeah, that's a cute little area for the parents to sit there, have a book, relax, a glass of wine.
Even better. So I better do some work before I get that. I'm just going to go do some planting.
I'll go this
come
way.
back. If you want to create the coastal-looking containers, one of the easiest ways to do it is to choose crisp white pots and then fill them with a combination of grasses and succulents. So I've got a great little collection of plants here, all in sort of ice blue or silvery grey colours. Then I've picked a little bit of bronze carex grass just for a bit of contrast. Now the great thing about succulents, of course, is that many of them will do well in coastal conditions, but I also love the way a lot of them look like sea life. So for example, this one here, this is a cotyledon called Blue Waves, and it looks very coral-like. And I find some of the echeverias or rosette-forming succulents look a little bit like sea urchins, which is really cute. When I'm putting together a potted display like this, I like to choose a big pot and make it the hero of the display, and then surround it with a family of smaller pots that I can fill with a similar palette of plants, but just on a smaller scale. I really want to make use of these brick pillars. So I've picked up these nifty hangers. You don't need any tools or screws. You just quite simply click them into place, and then the weight of the hanging basket will hold them securely. Because we're using hanging baskets, they tend to be exposed to sun and wind because they're up high, which means you need to choose tough plants. And if you're looking for tough plants, you might want to look to the world of silver foliage. So often silverleaf plants will have a waxy coating on the leaf or tiny little hairs that both reflect sunlight and help to conserve moisture. So they're tailor-made by nature to really tough it out. Plus, they will fit perfectly with our coastal theme.
The table does really take the centre stage, doesn't it?
It does.
Now, we're going to show you a few simple tips on how to dress and style an impressive coastal theme table without spending a lot of money.
Yes, it is all about reusing and recycling what you've already got at home with a little bit of help from the garden.
Timber boards and trays make a great centrepiece, and they're also perfect for piling on glasses, plates and cutlery. I have these wooden doorknobs that I will stick underneath for legs and will give me great height for the table.
If you're dressing your outdoor tables, you don't have to go out and buy expensive vases. You can just get your hands on some jars like this. I'm just recycling some jam jars, and then decorate them with things from the garden. So I always think it gives the table a bit of an informal or maybe rustic type of feel. Check this idea out. I think this is amazing. So what you do is you just get some sunny yellow daisies and you combine it with something like callistemon foliage, and then I've decorated the jar with some fresh lemon slices. And if you're wondering how they kind of stick to the edge of the glass, well, it's really simple. It's just a jar within a jar. So this will be a real conversation starter on the table. So what do you think of the space?
I think I'm a bit overwhelmed. It's definitely not what I pictured, really.
We nailed the coastal theme.
You did. It's beautiful.
We've got some beautiful potted displays for you. So we went with a succulent and grasses theme. So nice and coastal, low maintenance, and will look good for you year round.
Perfect.
We wanted to transport you back to that beautiful coastal environment, and I think, well, Daniela's nailed it with the styling. It looks amazing.
Thank you so much. This is amazing.
I love getting stuck into work in the new year, and what better way to kick it off than with a garden makeover. Come on, lads. The thing is, there's not too much wrong with this garden, but it's incredibly lackluster. You see what I mean? This place just needs a little bit of love. What are you up to, mate?
Hey, Charlie, what have you turned me into, mate?
You're helping with the removals.
I can tell that. By the look of it, we've got some a young family that lives here. What's going on?
Absolutely right. This is the house of Jeremy, Lauren, James and Zara, and they've just moved from an apartment, so this is their first house and their first back garden.
It's a great area.
It's a good size, but it's typical of, you know, first home buyers. There's not much going on, is there? We've got to really give it
a bit of a lift. But I think the bones are definitely here, yeah?
Absolutely, they're there.
So you're going to help me, Charlie? Yeah.
Yep, I will.
This later.
Thanks, mate.
Different, isn't it? Folds.
Hey guys, there's a bit more that needs to be cleared out here.
The afternoon shift's here.
Yeah.
Yes, the work really starts now.
No, I don't know.
Easy start.
Go next. I'll take the big one, Charlie. Oh, good timing, guys.
Is this ready to come up, is it?
It is. It should be. All right, there we go. Good start. You got that?
Yeah. It's not really fair. You're quite a lot smaller than me.
All right, gentlemen, let's have a chat.
Whatever it is, it was Charlie's fault.
Sorry about
You think
that.
you've done something wrong. I feel like I'm working with the Men in Black.
Oh, it's just all style, yeah?
So what are we doing?
Well, plants, I think. So hedging down this side, nice new planting down that side. But that star jasmine looks so good, I'm going to keep that.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. I want to tackle this pergola area. It's what the family are viewing every day. So I want to make it a bit more of a green oasis, a place where they want to spend some time.
Yeah, beautiful. It's fantastic because it's undercover. And so you want to create some privacy as well. So I was thinking of just building a screen across there. And then that shed, we saw how packed it was. There was so much that came out of it. We definitely need to build a bigger shed.
Yeah, and we better take care of those gorgeous little kids with a bit of play equipment, maybe some, you know, kid-friendly plants. It's going to look awesome.
Yeah. The kids are definitely going to have a lawn to play on, just not this one. Now, there's a section here that is really wearing thin with the kids coming through it so much. But if you look back further at the rest of the lawn, you'll realise it's really, really compacted, and that's simply due to the amount of rain we've had. Now, the grass is only going to go backwards from here, so the easiest thing to do is rip it all up. We'll easily be able to put in our garden beds around the outside, and then relay a new lawn, which is perfect for the kids.
The old sheds were jam-packed, but let's be honest, they weren't the greatest looking sheds, so we've cleared them out and we're going to be replacing them with one big shed. But not only an ordinary shed, this shed is going to look fantastic and really complement the new garden. It's going to be cladded with these beautiful cedar weatherboards and also have these inviting barn-style doors. Now, I'm starting on the floor. I'm using some treated pine sleepers. I'm going to use the 100mm thick ones as bearers and then use the 50mm sleepers as the finished floor. Now, this is a great idea to even use in your backyard as a boardwalk or as a substitute for a decking.
If you want to do one thing to really transform an area, then it's definitely paint. It really has an instant effect. So we're going to paint the fence, the pergola and the back of the house all in monument, which is kind of like a dark grey blue colour. It'll really make these gorgeous plants pop and tie the whole design together.
Now, I said this shed was going to be spectacular, and you can see by the doors that I was not lying. Now, this doesn't just have to be a shed. You could use it for an art studio, a home office, even a music room. Now, I want to speed the process up a little bit, so I do have a couple of installers helping me out. It's going to go back to you, yeah? Yeah, nice. Nice. Go, screw it off. And you'll notice the last thing we're doing is screwing this shed to the floor. And that's a good tip to make sure that you get it all together first, get your doors on, make sure your gaps are even, and then simply push the frame to where it has to be and fix it off. This is looking fantastic.
Adam, your shed looks amazing, I have to say.
Mate, look at this. Doors closed. You wouldn't call this a shed, would you? This is the ultimate man shed. How good is it?
Absolutely is. It looks amazing. But everything is looking quite brown here, so I'm looking forward to coming back a little bit later on and adding some green.
I was wondering when you were going to do that.
Yeah, not long. It's coming up.
Love it when the plants and pots start rolling in, Charlie.
How good is it? We are at Jeremy and Lauren's. They're a young couple with a growing family, and they've just moved from an apartment into a house.
And being first-timers, we're giving them a helping hand to get their garden in better shape. I can't wait to get these in the ground.
Who are you kidding? We've got plenty of work to do before we start on this.
Yeah, but the planting's the fun stuff.
I know.
Where are you at, Charlie?
I'm starting to set out the garden beds and lawn. You know, when people put a lawn in, they try and maximise the space. They think, you know, I want it all grass, and they bring grass right up to the fence line. And the problem with that is you never really use the space here. You know, you never kick football around the edge. So I think get some plants in and make it feel a little bit bigger.
Absolutely, because those fences are really quite dominant at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely right. You know, when you can cover this line where the fence meets the grass and where it all meets in the corner, if you can blur that, it's going to make the space feel bigger.
We never asked for this, but it's my time and it's your time and it's our time to get it. Love's calling us in.
And getting there though. Streamline keeps getting in my body.
Let's go.
Like coming into there.
Yep.
So, Melissa, have you done much edging before?
Yeah, we've got the weathering steel at home and it rusts really nicely.
Yeah, it's such a good way to keep the grass from growing into your garden beds and vice versa. And it's super slimline as well. We can get a nice straight edge by using a string line.
Yeah, and I love, like, this is quite modern looking stuff,
Yep.
but I love that you can use different edging depending on what style of garden you've got.
Yep.
Brick for a nice cottage garden, maybe timber edge, but this is going to look fantastic. What are you up to, medium, small?
Oh, beautiful, yeah. So the pattern's medium, small, big. It's nice and simple, this screen. We've just put some timber battens on, treated pine, and then we're using some Merbau decking. But the trick here is we're doing it with all different sizes. So it's different widths, but it's also different thicknesses as well, which is going to be a great illusion, yeah?
Now, once you've done that, I want to show you what I'm doing with the pergola area. Here's what I've got in mind.
Yeah.
See these two posts?
Yep.
I'm going to put some big, narrow planters and I'm going to fill them with Chinese star jasmine, which is the same as what's on the fence.
Yeah,
then we're going to have some big clusters of pots, so some in the corner here, some all around here. That'll create some privacy, lots of lush greenery. All right, let's get back to it.
What family garden doesn't have a trampoline in it? But they always look terrible underneath. The grass never grows, and you normally let it get too long before you go and whip a snippet, and then it's all dead. So to stop that from happening, I'm going to be using some gravel in a circle around the trampoline. I'm using the same edging as I'm using as the garden beds to stop it falling out onto the lawn. Now, I'm going to see what Mr. James might think of this. Come here, mister. Can I have a look at that? What is this?
My watermelon
Your
ball.
watermelon ball. Do you know what's going in here?
The trampoline.
The trampoline, that's right. Can you kick this as hard as possible towards me?
Yeah.
You ready?
I can kick.
Go on. One more. Take your shot. Oh. That is a powerful leg.
Oh, it's all happening here. And take a look at all this greenery. It's going to make a huge difference to the space. The painting's already been done. It's looking fabulous. But before we do more in this area, take a look at this polycarbonate roofing before it flies off. It's looking manky and old, so we're going to rip it off and replace it with something better. So our Chinese star jasmine is in place. And we've just run a series of eyelets all the way along the frame here. We've got some stainless steel wire, our tensioner. We're going to run it all the way through, and then at the end we'll crimp it off so it's nice and taut. Now it's just a matter of training this little beauty to go exactly where I want it to go. We're using clusters of big pots in the corner just to help to define the space, create privacy, and of course make it look more beautiful. And here's a tip for you. If you want instant lushness in a space, then pick a big palm like this. So this is the beautiful Kentia palm, which is just a really nice, graceful choice. And you can see we're kind of going with a palette of white and green in this space because it's just so cooling. So I've got these gorgeous white hydrangeas, which once that roof is on, will love this filtered light.
Oh,
There you go.
Thank you. These new sheets are going to look fantastic. The problem with the old clear sheets is they let in too much sun, so it actually gets hotter under here in summer. With these new opal sheets, it reflects a lot more of that UV rays, so this is going to be so much more comfortable. But I tell you what, I better get on to screwing these sheets on. Hey guys, how good's my bushy hydrangea?
Hydrangea?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
On that note, our brilliant backyard makeover is finally coming together. We're creating a beautiful, practical backyard that the whole family can enjoy.
Yeah, but wait a minute, what's going on with this dust pit?
I'm calling it a sandpit.
Oh.
It's a family garden. No, it's going to be a nice lawn.
Oh, OK.
But we've got to get on to getting these plants in the ground.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Where's this going?
Right about now, it's probably a good time to give our new homeowner, Jeremy, a little plant talk.
Found another one, Charlie.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, don't have enough here.
Oh, but this is crazy. Unbelievable.
How are you feeling about all these plants?
Overwhelmed. This is huge. Coming from an apartment, mate, what do we do?
Yeah, so there's two things with this planting. Number one is I saw how hard James kicks a football, so all of this stuff is super hardy. You've already got the height of the jasmine here, which is really nice. So all of this stuff is kind of medium spacing stuff, super low maintenance. The grasses, let them do their thing. Once a year, you just chop them down and then they come back again. It's all really drought tolerant stuff. So I've kept this in mind that's low maintenance and can take a football being kicked into it.
Perfect. So James will love that.
James will love it. How are you on a shovel?
Well, Dad's got his new cubby, so it's only fitting that the kids get one too. So I've just picked up a flat pack one, and I just need to screw it together.
Hey, Ads, you're going to hate me.
What?
I want it back about a foot and to the left a little.
All right. How's that?
That is perfect. Thank you.
Don't say I'll do nothing for you.
Adam's screen has come up beautifully, so I'm just going to soften it with some wall hangers. And I've got a lovely trio of plants here. This is the spaghetti-style ripsalis, and I've got a couple of different types of ivy.
The water housia has to be one of my favourite hedges. It's really versatile to what soil it can grow in. Because this is a low maintenance garden, I'd suggest them keeping it at a height where they can comfortably trim it on a ladder. But what it does in this garden is balance out nicely the low maintenance planting on the other side of the space. And that's a one for you.
Thank you. Yes, Charlie, we are continuing the theme with the water houses on this side too, so that we can screen out the trampoline and just help to make our chill zone feel a bit more private and intimate. What do you think of the cubby?
I absolutely love it. It is so cute.
As a mum, I always like trying to find ways for kids to be drawn out into the garden. So I've got lots of kid-friendly plants here for you. So the one you're planting is the beautiful lamb's ears.
Amazing.
Pat that. The kids will come out and stroke it. The leaves are really soft. Isn't
That's
it
so
gorgeous?
lovely.
And I've got this beautiful little wattle here. This is called acacia limelight. And again, it's just one of those plants you want to pat, but it forms this kind of cousin it shape. It's fantastic. Some seaside daisies.
Oh, they're so sweet. I think they're going to have such a lovely time playing here.
All right, let's get this area planted.
Amazing.
If you're after a hard-wearing grass that's good for kids and pets, you really can't go past Tiff Tough Hybrid Bermuda. This one also has a Smart Approved watermark, which basically means it's incredibly drought tolerant, so it's perfect for Aussie conditions. But really, I think it just looks unbelievable. Take a look at this grass, this nice fine leaf. It just looks fantastic in this garden.
That lawn is looking fabulous. It's really transformed the space. And now I can put the finishing touches on my hanging garden. Thanks, Ethan. You're like a human ladder.
Are we right?
Yeah.
So which way? This way?
That way.
This way.
Not that way. Go.
Go. Oh,
My bits.
we got it?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
This is my favourite part when the design comes together.
Ooh, look at that.
Hey guys, how you going?
Hey, wow.
What do you think?
Incredible. It looks amazing.
It's unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable.
All the planting, yes, there is a lot of it, but don't be scared of it. Honestly, it's low maintenance. Can you tell me your favourite part, Jamesy?
Yeah, the plants and the grass and the new shed and the cubby house.
So pretty much all of it then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of it.
All of it.
Did someone call my name? Have a look inside, have a look inside.
Wow, this is insane.
Yeah,
Oh my
heaps in
God.
there. It's crazy.
Huge.
Incredible.
Smells good
Love
up
it.
here, guys.
Oh.
Welcome to your new outdoor entertaining space.
This is amazing.
This is
Melissa. How are you?
incredible.
So you got your dining area over here. Nice little coffee nook or place to read. And then I'm just loving all the green.
And there's a bit of a timber screen, create some privacy. What do you think, Sarah? Did you like the screen? Remember, you came and helped.
It is
So
absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, guys.
I think it's time to kick the ball. What do you reckon, James? High five, buddy, all round. Yeah.
High five, Ray. That was amazing.